week at the fruit company has been extremely crazy, especially
Mhm.
with all the stuff that's going on with imports and exports of fruit. If you follow along,
Well, I had to ask you because I could be getting a new fruit product. We'll have to see. It's the 14 mini here. I've got to say has been a little indestructible. I kind of like it because the case for when I do my lives with the phone, the case hindered being in the little clip to hold the iPhone in, right? So at some point, I think maybe February last year, I said goodbye to the case and I just use it. And so yeah, like there's a little bit of damage there, the corners.
yeah, little rubbing, rubbing is racing, Doug. Rubbing is racing.
Look at even well, the top part is kind of there may
Yeah.
be some metal missing in the top.
Hey, it's well worn.
Yes, it's used. It's used. It's been all cornhole love. And I have to say, like I said, I've dropped it a lot. The screen, the screen is fine, right? Because I've got another product that starts with an S. That's my work phone that I had for about 2 weeks. I went to pick it up when I was getting a phone call. Slippery hands dropped it. It fell flat on its back, right? It fell this way. Screen absolutely smashed.
That's not good. Listen, it's
But it
here's the
was
thing. Any product made out of glass, okay? I'm just going to say this. Any product made out of glass can break. The weakest point of a piece of glass, do you know what it is, Doug?
the corner.
The edges, yes. It's the
Yes.
edges of the glass. That is always the weakest part. And people always like, I thought it was going to be stronger. It's like you dropped it on a boulder. I mean, come on. What's good? Like you,
Well, and I deal with that in my work as well too, because if you shoot a puck and you hit the edge of the glass in a corners or right on the edge, it's going to shatter.
well,
If you're carrying said piece of glass that's like 400 pounds, and you kind of happen to maybe just touch the corner on the ground or on a work boot, it shatters as well.
well, Doug, you have
And if anyone's seen me in person, I've got these scars of the 12 stitches right there to prove it.
speaking of being dropped, there's Doug.
Listen here, I'll put it there. It's the guy that what him. What he really likes is when you drive very slow over high bridges.
Well, with your glass, there's another whole element there. You're in a freezing like temperature too at the same time.
Yes.
It's got to change almost maybe I mean, I'm not a scientist, so don't quote me on this, but maybe a little bit of the composition of the glass a little bit when it gets a little
Well,
colder. But Ben, this year, Doug, because we talked a little bit about kind of a year in review. Ben
yes.
this year has taught me so much about guitars that I never thought I wanted to know. Like, I've tuned into his show so many times, and I got to meet some great people with him too. During one of his shows, I got to meet a gentleman that from California that actually does scores to video games. It was amazing to sit there, and I got to actually go to the after show. That's how special I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Candy? How you doing?
I was going to mention in the Titan Bags live feed they had of the Jordan Power Joan Eastak game that we won't talk about the outcome of that one, but because she was making some predictions, and I was going to say, hey, you got about 20 minutes to make a decision. Are you going to keep watching the Titan live feed, or are you going to come over to us? And obviously, she likes us better than Titan
She does
Bags.
like us, but she did say that it's okay because Adam and Trey just won King Seat.
Yes.
So Adam and
Yeah.
Trey really putting it together. I didn't get to see many of them play. Do you know what bags they played today, Candy? Because I know everybody was testing out their Talon 2.0s. Which
Did I see? Was Jordan and Joe throwing Devastators? I think, or someone mentioned Devastators in the chat, so I thought that they may have been throwing them.
It depends. I mean, they're in Myrtle Beach right now, and I'm not
Okay,
sure what the weather is.
Talon 2.0s.
Talon 2.0 is for Trey and Adam. Yes. That's a great bag, Doug. I just got my set in. I went with the pure white set, and they're amazing. And she said yes, they were. They probably switched over to Devastators, just because sometimes when you're near in certain parts of the venue, sometimes the bags will play a little different, and sometimes you need that little bit of faster bag. Nico and Tyler were scavengers today, so almost a full line of Titans today.
Even that guy that used to throw that U named bag, starting with the U, knew that they were throwing because he's now. I've heard he may have had some Titan bags come in.
Well, I've been in talks with Mr. Barrett for a little bit there to maybe if I have some friends at Titan Bags, getting him maybe a special custom set, but we'll see how that works out before we recap at the end some of the Newfoundland Open stuff potentially. Potentially. You know, we might make our own, Doug. We might have the Donnie Doug Cornhole Open in Newfoundland.
Once we know when we can go there, when that tournament's going to be, we will make the announcement to say if we are going to be there or not.
Well, listen, Doug, my dance card is filling up, so they better hurry up and decide.
I can see the number one thing in your dance card when you go to the Newfoundland Open is going to be a fish.
Maybe a fish and some screech.
It's going to be fish full on tongue from arse to lips. is what I'm thinking.
It probably could happen. Listen, after a couple 2, 3,
that's the just to be clarify, that's the fish's arse to the fish's lips, not anyone else's.
But listen, after a couple 2, 3, 27 Miller Lights, might happen.
Possibility. And speaking of Miller Lights, Mr. Barrett showed me a picture today of him waiting for the show to start, pounding some Miller Lights.
Well, Doug, if you notice, you can't really notice yet, but I had to move the studio back around again because when I turned it the other way, because I thought it was going to be better for the winter time, really didn't work out. I was freezing. So I really had to turn it backwards again and block myself off. I have like 7 different moving blankets behind me hung up with a heater beside me just to keep the heat in down here.
Yeah, I've still got to move things around here to move it in that direction because then I'll have the heating vent blowing right at me. But I'm not sure because I got all the professional lighting all here that can get a little hot under the lamps here as well.
But Doug, I did get a beautiful prize this week. Beautiful.
Yes, I heard that.
AC cornhole board right here. I keep forgetting which angle the camera goes at. I got to remember it's always a mirror. But yes, I did get some really cool stuff for my.
And you got a little toilet paper holder thing with a hat. Was it?
Oh, listen! I got a beautiful snowman. Hold on, let me get the snowman because you all have to see the snowman. It's so beautiful. It made me cry.
Yes, I walked into the shop. I seen it, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know about that."
All right, this is the winningest snowman in the whole wide world. Oh, wait, he's backwards. I forgot it.
Yes, remember, it's a mirror image thing, right?
No, but I had it even facing me. I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty looking at it. I'm so stupid. But no, look at that beautiful Canadian.
Like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Look at that thing. And this was made by Jamie's mom. Made this. It's amazing. Mike Joy, it's the beautifulest snowman ever.
Coincidentally, if you were to go back and look at the one thing we did with TV with Jamie Cowan on a local TV station here, he even made the comment that his mom sews his bags. She doesn't anymore, but yeah, back then she did.
Yeah, Ben, he is actually at a 20-watt light bulb. If you notice, my lighting is way better. Look at this. I've got all my lights around me. I shine bright like a diamond, Ben.
We won't talk. I've seen his lighting. We will not talk about that.
Yes, but the lighting is moody because he's got all that equipment around him.
Yes.
It's amazing. But honestly, Doug, though, the one thing I do have to say is I have to thank all the people that have been coming on these Saturday nights for us, because me and you just did this on a whim.
Yeah.
I think we were talking on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I think at that point we were both pretty much done with podcasting, with everything else.
Yeah.
And we were both. I knew I was ready to throw in the towel. I was so done. I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And, it's my partners kind of broke up with me. They want to do their own thing, and at the same time, I was just like, everything's going on with my dad and everything else, and I'm done. And you're like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm done too, but why don't we just do something on Saturday? Let's just have
Yeah.
fun. And I'm like, all right, let's just do it. And honestly, that's what got me back in. So I have to say thank you to you for keeping me here, because guess what? I was ready to pack it in. I had half my stuff already on eBay. I was so done with it. I was like, listen, it's just because it can be quite thankless at times.
Yeah, and you know what? I was even talking with Brian Betancourt from the Kingseat podcast about just
Who?
this very thing. Yeah, it's the one other podcast. The because he was a duo in his podcast, and his partner had some stuff go on that Brian then became a single, kind of like us. And he's like, it's tough, like being the one man show that you're trying to, it's especially when I was doing my show. You do the kind of the monologue and the ending, where you don't really have anyone to play off of when you're talking. It's just you kind of, and I know I can be monotone sometimes, but it's but it's just trying to get all that their stuff off me. Like, you know what, I got to talk for 25 minutes and people got to listen to just me talk, right?
It is tough. I mean, when you're trying to line up the guest, you're trying to do everything by yourself, editing, promoting the show, promoting sponsors, doing everything else like that. It is a kind of a grind. But the second half of the year was honestly amazing. Yeah.
Yes, Ben, he kind of, but he used to do, I think he used to do, he used to could, he
used
did,
to
I think it's coming back next year, a fantastic Tuesday night show.
About NASCAR.
Yeah, I think the background is 3 sheets back here.
3 sheets of the wind behind you.
Yeah. Yes, and I have to say, I see Steve Gibson coming in saying, keep going. He loves it. Gibby, fuck you, Gibby. Because that's, when you go to Peterborough, that's, he's like Norm from Cheers. When he walks into Peterborough, it's everybody is just, fuck you, Gibby.
But that's what makes it so much fun, though. When you have people like Gibby, you have people like Derek, you've got people like Russ that, anywhere you go, you just know those people that you're just going to resonate with, right? And they're going to be the people that you want to go and see and go and hang out with. And that's what makes this game even more fun than sometimes even throwing bags.
Yeah.
Right? It was so fun the other night. I went to a blind draw on, I want to say, I think it was Thursday night, maybe Wednesday or Thursday night. I don't remember which one it was. And I brought out the greatest bags in the whole wide world.
You bought the Fuzzy bags, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
The greatest Titan bags in the whole wide world. I
Yeah,
brought out,
ugly ones?
we threw the Jacqueline Slide 5.0s in the middle of the tournament, and people were just so angry because the guy I was playing with, he usually throws like a Viper R, but the way his bag comes in kind of at an angle, when it hit the board, it would just flop over and go towards the hole. And I mean, I've thrown every version of Jekyll's the entire time, so I know how to make that bag work, like with just a deep block or even just airmailing it or whatever. And the team we played against, they beat us, but they were very angry that it took almost a half an hour to beat us.
I thought you were going to say the Jekyll slides with your face on it, but.
Oh, no, Doug. Those are still in a bag vault, which you can get from www.titancornholebags.com. And you can even get the voice logo on them if you want to. That is an extra special upcharge. No, it's not. But no, but those are the Jacqueline slides are in a bag vault here on the desk. I think I showed you before the first, the special edition 1.0s are way over there, and the white special ones that Candy and Jenny Greba made for me and Belinda are sitting right here in front of me, right on my desk, where I kind of do the podcast, looking at them all day, every day.
Keaton's coming in hot.
Keaton, they were pretty good, but guess what? Dirty board games are the most fun games, because the biggest problem with fast bags today is games end quickly because people take chances. And sometimes those chances don't pay off. But when it's a dirty bag game, it could last longer. And Keaton, when I get up there, we can play a game. You pick your bag, I'll throw Jekyll slides. We'll put $20 on it.
And a big shout out to Keaton. He ran a couple tournaments this weekend.
Doug, if it's $20, though, is that the purple or the pink money up there?
Green.
Green.
No, but he ran a couple fundraiser tournaments, I believe, this weekend, and not this past weekend, and during the week, I think. And I think he was honest. Like, some people are not honest with it. He was honest that they were only going to have a 50% payout because it was going to one of the fundraisers was for the bartender that they have at the Moose Lodge that passed away. They did a fundraiser for his family, and then another one for the Moose Lodge itself. And and people showed up. He had a couple high populated tournaments, and they, because it's been in the news recently in cornhole that some people may not say what they're actually doing.
Well, and that's the problem, right? If you're gonna run a tournament, the thing with it is, even when a charity tournament around us, listen, I don't win a lot, as my 2023 Scoreholio recap shows. I finished in 9th place the most, Doug. At 25% of the time, I finish in 9th place. That's what it told me. But when the tournament puts up the odds before it starts, I'm okay with that. But also, when it's a charity tournament at the same time, like, are you really going to a charity tournament to win money?
Yeah, no. It's almost like if you win the 50-50 at a charity tournament, are you keeping that money or are you giving it back?
Yeah, and that's the problem, is some people go there, as part of their cornhole living. You know what I mean? I need to get my travel expenses for next week. I'm there more for the charity. I actually went to a tournament 2 weeks ago where it was a $25 buy-in, 0 payout.
Yep.
Because it was for hospital bills for somebody locally that needed the money because of, they passed away from a really horrible disease, and but the family needed the money to pay the medical bills. So, over 200 people, I think it was, showed up to play, to help, and with raffles and everything else like that. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yep.
When you have people in your community that need help, I would much rather go. And don't get me wrong, yeah, what are medical bills? Yes, we don't have zero healthcare here in the US. But I would rather go to a tournament and donate some money than sometimes donate to a GoFundMe. Because with a GoFundMe, sometimes I just don't know where that money's going back to at the same time.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I was talking about was with the terms with not paying out or whatever, or not saying what they're going to do. There was one that was supposed to be big money one down the States a couple weeks ago. That was one that, even when I seen who was running the tournament, I even questioned it then, and some other people were questioning it. Some other people in the cornhole world were questioning it as well. But like,
are you talking about the Flintstone tournament?
Could have been.
The Feet Don't Fail Me Now, where you just load the trailer up and kick your feet really quickly to get the trailer moving forward.
Yeah. If I would say that with some of these things, with some of these people that run the tournament, it's the fool me once, shame on you; fool me twice, shame on me. If this one person continuously says they're going to be doing something and then folds or halfway through or does whatever, it's you got to start questioning, just what's going, because like this person tried to start up one 3-lettered company organization, then he started up another 3-lettered organization that didn't last, right? And then I think he's now going for a third one, maybe third time's a charm, possibly.
Well, but I think the third one has a 4-letter, doesn't it now?
Is it 4? Yeah, I think it is a 4. Maybe he needs that extra letter.
He needs it.
The extra letter.
You need that extra letter just to keep it going. Yes, 4 is better than 3.
And Gibby says, yeah, Mike Ochar always gives it back. You know what? I'm glad he gives it back, because he's so big, I would be afraid to ask for it back. But he's a great guy.
Oh, wait a minute, Doug. We did get called out after last week, by the way.
We did, and that guy was going to come on, and but he was at a big momentous a basketball game tonight in Detroit. The Pistons were about to break the record for most losses in a row, but they beat the Raptors tonight.
So a jobber went to a jobber team.
It's you. I've seen him. I'm not going to say that. But yes. Yeah. He was going to come on to defend himself. But yeah, and Keaton.
I'm just going to stay straight heel.
Yeah. Keaton is right. His league started up in Oshawa because of someone that what was it? You paid $25. It was a doubles tournament. You paid $50 a team, $25 a person to enter it. The team that won, they each got $20 back. And it wasn't a charity tournament.
That's pretty good math, though. I've seen stuff like that.
Exactly. Yes, and Tim's right. I seen pictures. He went down 8 Mile today in Detroit, so it's
whoa.
So it's
but now it's like a movie set, isn't it?
I don't know.
Rabbit, he's always there.
And Mike, the Trailer Park Boys would have did a lot better than that one. But yeah, for a friend, I've seen Tim Sanchi in the chat. We'll show you people how to say his name. Nope, wrong person. He's up here. With Tim. Tim, I think, is possibly looking for a partner for Niagara. So if you want a top-level partner who's going to, should have been a pro, who's going to take you or go far in the tournament, you want to be partnered up with Tim. So there's his name there. Hit Tim up if you are looking for a partner for the Open in Niagara. He's the guy that he's one of our top throwers here in Canada. So it's help him out. Who's Tim? Russ? He's a guy that I haven't beat, unlike some people, Russ. Remember Newfoundland? I got money after our game. You didn't.
Listen, if I was going up to, if I could make it to Niagara, which I cannot due to other contractual obligations, I would be there. I'd play with Tim. I can see the board.
I'm getting compliments now.
Whoa, look at that. Oh, wait a minute. That's a bogus compliment.
So I didn't just wear the shirt to make sure I got a compliment. But
you did too. Listen, you wore the shirt just so Heath would be nice to you.
Listen, I'm glad that these shirts were white for that tournament I played in with Heath, because Heath's tournaments are wow, that was long. Like everyone was 2 out of 3. Like he was wanting to kill me on the Carolina Heat.
Well, those were some of your race. Those are some of your race ones, right?
Yep. So it started at like 10 in the morning, and then finished up well after the race started. I was already out. I was able to get in to see Leonard Skinner.
The real Leonard Skinner?
I don't know if Ben's still in the chat. How many were left in Leonard Skinner?
Oh, there's only like 3 left.
Wait, there wasn't even that. And
it was
one where he forgets his cold snacks on the way to the concert, right? From our camper. I get down there. I'm sitting I'm like probably 40 rows back, like and on the infield being 40, you're still close. You're still close there, and like 40 people back. And then I send him a picture like I'm here just in case you're looking for me. He replies with another picture of him side stage right beside the stage. He happened to just because if people know Ben, he's the long-haired hippie of the family. And so he had like the long hair. He's a musician. He looked like one of the guys.
Listen, he probably knew one of the guitar techs or something and got like closer.
Well, he stumbled to where he shouldn't be, and they just let him stay.
We only had 96 players for a tailgate tournament.
Yeah,
I can tell you, on my way to Bag and Bash, I believe it was Bag and Bash 2. Me and my brother are on our way down there, and we stopped at Heath Jenkins for my birthday. It was my 49th birthday, I believe. We stopped there and camped in his front yard, and I think we went through a fifth of Fireball and a bunch of Miller Lights in his backyard with, I think it was some mac and cheese, some green bean casserole, and a ton of wings that he cooked on his barbecue. So,
Alan, it's not that guy. I even had to kind of go bend because my hand pointing the right way. Yeah.
Listen, I am the best looking man in cornhole. Come on. Enough about me. Let's talk about me.
Yeah, his turn. Like there was 96 people there. Like Clemmer was there. The Gore boys were there. Kind of who else was all there? But there was a bunch of pros there, and it was just a great time.
Well, the thing is, in that area right there, right where Heath is right there in Gastonia.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Yep. Gastonia, North Carolina. Or
South
Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina, because it's right there on the border, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like the who's who in the killers of like cornhole. I mean, next year, a lot of controversy, Doug. Next year, when it goes to potentially not states anymore, not conferences anymore, it'll go to states. That's going to be even tougher down here because there's going to be some states that you just don't want to live in.
No.
Like Kentucky, Illinois, the Carolinas, Florida. Yeah, even like Virginia, like some of those states are just going to be tough. Pennsylvania, Ohio, they're just going to be tough.
How many pros are going to be moving to Oregon or Washington?
I just bought a 1 foot by 1 foot piece in Montana so I can claim residence.
Yep.
So I can become a pro next year.
There'll be a mass exodus to the Northwest.
Yes. Listen, I'm going to start a cornhole compound. If anybody wants to invest in it, you can surely join there. You just can't throw more than I think my PPR is a 6.5 or something like that. You can't throw higher than that to join.
All the pros are intermediate.
Keaton, some people will move just to be in the top 100 because that's how petty cornhole is.
Yes.
Like people will move just to get in. Doug's in. Doug's moving to Montana with me. No, but it's just, there's some interesting stuff going on between all the organizations too, right? Because the other 3-letter organization, the second biggest one, just posted their handicaps. Did you see that?
I seen that, and I don't know about that.
The handicap seems a little off to me because when you're playing golf or other sports, the handicap's a little different.
Yeah.
So right now, I think like my PPR is I believe I'm like in the sixes, almost to the sevens right now, just because of most of the tournaments I played in for the year. It's harder to bring it up at the end of the year. That's what my wife said. But I think I would have a 7 handicap right now, and I didn't read too deep into it to see what that would mean. Would I be spotted 7 points? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone posted it in the Addicted to Cornhole group. I can't go back to look for it now. But
Russ, don't
But
worry. I have 2 kids. I tried twice. I have 2 kids. It's all good.
but yeah, like I can't imagine with me starting off like because it's like I got like the 5-7 PPR right now, so it would give me like I think it would give me like at least 5 points around. I think it is starting off with, which you know
Isn't that like that's almost like playing the ghost though, isn't it? At the same time?
almost. For me keeping my PPR, I just need to put one bag on the board, and I'd hit my PPR every time.
Yeah, but like I want to see how it works. I want to dig a little more deeper into it. Maybe talk to Frank and some of the other people over there just to see how that's going to work. Just because with the handicapping system, I just I'm already throwing against a live person, but then I have a handicap at the same time. How does the math work?
Yeah.
And, I think it's an interesting concept, you know what I mean? Because, trying to move the game forward, you got to try some different things just to see if it works. I mean, listen, look back to hockey when they tried to do the, remember the Fox tracks with the puck?
Puck, yeah.
Oh my God, that was so horrible. I hated it because I'm like, I can see the puck. I watch hockey all the time. I don't need a little blue line showing me where it went. Maybe in golf I do because it's a tiny little white ball that I can't see, but I
Yes.
don't need it in hockey.
No. Maybe we'll get it in cornhole.
Maybe. I mean, listen, Trey already has his little telestrator that he won't let anybody else touch. Greedy. Yeah, puck tracker was terrible.
What do you mean nobody else can touch it?
You didn't get to touch it, Doug.
Use a telestrator when I was in Worlds.
Oh, that's cute. You only got to touch the pencil.
Okay, it was Corey's. Corey Russell's. I got to use it. I got to hold the pen and the actual iPad thing itself. But yeah.
Oh, Keaton, the cameramen in golf are amazing. But when I was at Spencer's this year, I got to, and I might have told the story before. I don't know if I talked to you about it, Doug, or if I told it on one of the shows we did.
Yeah,
The gentleman that uses the boom camera for the ACL is amazing.
Yeah.
He literally has this rig that is like this huge tripod. It looks almost like a gun turret. And I don't want to say the G word because I don't want Facebook or anybody else to stop us, but it looks like a turret. And he literally has like a small iPad that he looks through and moves that camera and follows the bag through the air with such precision and ease. It's amazing. I literally sat behind him for 20 minutes just watching what he was doing. It was so cool.
A couple of times during a couple of broadcasts for Worlds, that's where I was kind of put myself beside him. I got to walk like the backstage kind of part of it and was able to kind of go in with him there. And it was just watching him work to be able to kind of, because you've still got, because where he's sitting for Worlds, if you weren't there, he's in between the podium where Trey and Jeff were commentating. And then the other side, you have, I'm forgetting his name, but he's with Allison Peters. He was doing all the music and everything. So he's got just like a little bit of an area to be able to put that boom there. And then you've got Josh Keck and the other guys that are all sitting there, and you got Bernie running around with the microphone. So he's really got, there's some stuff to work around.
Oh, Springer? No, Allison Shreve Springer. Hold on, who we got here? Let's go back. Allison Peters. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. I gotta.
Because I talked to him. I'm like, we even met up in the McDonald's line after one of the TV broadcasts when McDonald's was closed. We sat there for like 10 minutes going, is anyone going to take an order?
Oh, I was going to say, why we were in the line if it was closed?
Because I thought McDonald's were 24 hours. And it wasn't midnight yet.
Yeah, Allison Shreve Springer now, right? Because it was Allison Peters.
Yeah.
She got married, right?
Yes. Okay.
So now it's Springer. So let's see about.
He's a great guy. I gotta say that.
Married to Scotty Springer.
Yes, okay, Scotty. Yes, yeah.
Scotty
the body. Scotty the body.
Body.
That's it. Well, yes, yeah, Keaton. I think that guy. Yeah, he was the guy that was sitting in the right chair. Was impressive.
Well, listen, all those camera guys, especially even the guys even with the shoulder mounted cameras,
Yeah.
are amazing. Getting the crowd shots and just getting some of the other stuff, like just watching them from behind, like with all right, camera 2, camera 3, camera, you know what I mean, and just making sure they're ready for whatever's happening. It's just so amazing to watch. I mean, especially in golf because it's so hard to follow action, especially when you're dealing with, I know it's 18 holes of golf, but usually you're dealing with, what, 8 or 9 holes where players are actually on that you're filming.
Yep. And then even for me, like to talk about all the ESPN stuff, just all like, most time you just see kind of we're there, you go on and you're just sitting there talking, right? It's not that whole other prep stuff that whole day of like Kim was saying the ESPN when it was on Canada there. I got to be with Trey, and it's like I get there at 8:00 in the morning for doing my normal live feed stuff. He's like, "Do you have someone else who can take over the live feed for a bit because we got to talk?" And I was like, "Okay, fine." So and he like rifles through like 8 pages. Like, here's what's going to happen. We're going to do this here. I'm going to have a break. We're going to do this here. I'm going to have a break. It's all this here. Okay, fine. Right. So that's going through my head. And then that's like, okay. And then you need to get someone else to take over for you get at lunch. Because at noon we have a production phone call to do. And I'm like, okay, so that's talking with a producer somewhere down in Connecticut, I believe. And then, and then you got to get there early. And thankfully we only had to do 2 takes of the opening because the brain just went.
That was cute to watch.
Yeah. I got the inside baseball here. It's I did the whole thing. And I laughed because he's probably not watching now. But one of Bones, one of the guys I play hockey with, he can do my whatever I said on ESPN like word for word. And every time I see him, he'll like grab someone that doesn't know that I was on ESPN, and he's like, and he rhymes it right off. And
but Doug, who took over for you when you walked away?
Stacey Moore. Yeah. Yes, you did. Well, the first time, that was at night. But in the morning, it was.
It would have been such a.
And Connor Weiss took over for me.
It would have been such a better conversation with me and Stacy if we actually had 2 microphones, because there was so many things I positioned him on that he answered. Actually,
yeah,
he probably shouldn't have.
Well, there was 2 microphones there, but Brad had the other one because Brad was talking as well.
Yeah, me and Stacy were sharing a microphone. It was cute. Yeah. And then a year later, he wouldn't talk to me, but I did sneak into the broadcast.
Yeah, you were right front and center, right behind the throws there. Yeah, but yeah, just all the stuff. It was just kind of like amazing to get all of their stuff done, and yeah, and like I said, like it's 2 takes. I went, I did like Trey was like, okay, I'm going to ask you, what it means to be in Canada, and I'm like, okay, I've already been kind of because I had known. When I had known like a month and a half before that I was going to be doing, because I had a meeting with Trey. I was down to race, went down to meet with Trey, and he's like, here's what you're doing. And I was like, okay. So I had like a month and a half what am I going to say? What am I going to say? So, and, like, and if you go back and watch it, and I was like, people have been forever asking me, when are we going to have a big event in Canada? That time is now. And I'm like, in my head going like, you hit it when you said that time is now, right? And then we were going to kind of cut away from us and look to the bracket, right? And he was like, what game comes out to you? And I was like, and I had it in my head, the Laurie duel, Bernie Portalesi against Jordan Power and Steve Pohl. Well, I could not say Jordan Power or Steve Pohl to save my life. It just went blank, right? And the crowd was going nuts behind us. It was great. Take 2. I was like, oh, crowd wasn't as fired up the second time, and yeah.
Well, Jordan was on fire that weekend too. He was literally in his element because he was having fun playing cornhole, and he was a showman at the same time.
Yeah,
it wasn't his normal chirping,
which if Candy's still in the chat here, are they going to let him come to Canada, or does he have to go to Triple Crown?
Which one?
Jordan.
Oh no,
because Jordan's the reigning double. Like, Jordan's the only one to win open doubles.
Ooh, well,
in Canada.
Well, that one there, I don't think it's sponsored by Titan, but I don't think it's a contractually obligated one to Titan. And I'm just saying that for me, even though I'm wearing my Team Titan fleece.
Oh, she's ducking the question. She's like, she'll be right back.
No, but
no, because the first year
obligated to show up.
The first year Jordan won with Jimmy McGuffin. The second year he wins doubles with Mike Ferreira. Right? Beating Joe Neistat in the final last year. So yeah.
Yeah, I know I will be in I will be over in Iowa, because I was in Iowa before Titan was in Iowa. I signed on before there was a title sponsor. So I will be there hanging out in -7-degree weather.
It's not that here.
No,
at all. Not that here at all.
Andrew's saying he's hearing that Jordan and Joe will be in Niagara. And I think a lot of those guys will be too, because the thing is, the ACL also wants and is asking a lot of these guys to travel and do a lot of the international stuff. I actually saw a really great map of Europe the other day, Doug.
Nope.
Did you see that one where it kind of goes through like Amsterdam, Spain, and a lot of other countries? I mean, that looks really cool to go and do. It'd be really cool if you could hit one or two of the events. I wish I could. I'm gonna kind of check it out. I just gotta look and see what finances look like and everything else. Just because but most of what I do is on my dime.
Yep.
Internationally, I do have some stuff that is paid for here in the States and Canada, but when I get out to like Europe and stuff, that's where I would have to kind of dig into not my pocket, my wife's pocket, because she's my sugar mama.
I just kind of go wherever I'm told.
Well, listen, you have a small contract. I don't.
Wherever I'm told. It's and Graham, Niagara, I've got no idea. I've got no inside stuff on Niagara whatsoever. The only thing I do know, breaking news about Niagara. The only thing I do know about Niagara is that I will be there. I was a little questionable, but I've got the word that I will be in Niagara. So for all of you people that were wanting Wally to be there, sorry. You got to deal with me again.
Yes, Doug got the time off work. I didn't ask for it.
Yes.
Because I have to save my extra time off for bike week up in New Hampshire in the summertime. And maybe there might be a motorcycle trip up to maybe the Toronto area.
Oh.
We'll see what happens.
Interesting.
James Brill, Niagara is, I believe, the
January?
January 25th through the 27th, 28th.
Hold on here. It's 26, 27, 28.
Okay, so 26, 27, 28 of January. But James Brill, the one that is actually closer for you is Drummondville, because James Brill's right here by me in the Boston area. So Drummondville is actually just above Montreal, which is only a 4.5-hour drive, which will be in...
And that's February 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Because thanks to Matt Plow with these for getting these events on these weekends, because the Drummondville one is on my mother's birthday weekend. I've got a feeling like there's going to be possibly on another one on my wife's birthday weekend. I can't say that date because we don't know if there's going to be a tournament there, but I just have a feeling it's going to be. And then another one, well, last year. So I'm feeling if it's the same date as last year, was on my anniversary weekend.
Yeah, there was one that you had to, right? Where was that one last year?
That was the St. John's one last year. So I'm not sure if that'll be the same weekend this year. But yeah, so my anniversary weekend. So
When we getting out to the west coast of Canada? When we getting out there?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm still waiting on. What's going to be going on with that? I'm waiting on to be told what I'm doing. But yeah, I know that I will be making. I did one conference in Ontario here. I've got 2 more conferences to do in Ontario, and I believe I have 3 conference tournaments to do in Quebec. So I'll be making 4 trips to Quebec this year for doing some commentary.
Keaton says he won't come to Niagara, but you want to know about the West Coast. Keaton, I only have so much vacation time from the fruit company. I have to plan out my time. And the great thing about Drummondville is it is the last 3 days of my kids' high school vacation. And my daughter is now on varsity cheering squad, and she can't travel. So we only have to do day trips. So we can't go away. So that frees me up to travel. So, that makes it great. Jay Cushing, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Andrew, I would love to do the Newfoundland conference, but I've been told that for conferences, just where I can drive, which I can drive to Newfoundland, but that would then mean I would have to take a week off of work.
What's your drive to Newfoundland? I already did the Google Maps. It's for me. It's 23 hours.
Let me see. If I didn't stop and I went straight through, 4, 12. I'm going to say like 40, give or take 10 hours.
Really?
Yes. No, because it's 24 hours to the ferry. Then I get either the 12 or 18-hour ferry, depending. And then, if I get the shorter ferry, it's a longer drive. Longer ferry, shorter drive. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think when I did the Google Maps, it had me go up. I almost went up through kind of Montreal and kind of came all the way through the backside there and made it over there. James Brill, have a great, wonderful New Year's. Thank you. Going back to watch the hilarious Cowboys game. Yeah, you'd rather stay here. This is much better entertainment than that game.
I think that's why Candy's in such a good mood. I heard that Georgia won a little big today. So last night it was like 63-3 over Florida State.
Yeah, I saw Brandon posted 63-3 with I think it was like a laughing emoji or something.
Yeah.
I just don't watch the college football, so I don't know what that means. But friends, when we start this back up in the new year, what would you love to hear about? Oh, Graham, Newfoundland would be great on the bike. Yeah, but that would be. I would love to get up there on the bike. That would be amazing.
Just watch out for the moose.
Yeah, the moose is a little bit bigger than the Harley, so I gotta be careful.
We do for the new year. We do plan on having some more guests on to come on here. I know we kind of talked about that the other night after the show, but yeah, I think have some more guests on to come on to talk about some stuff, and we're gonna keep going to have some fun. Is the big thing.
Yeah, we want to make this bigger and better. We want to kind of make it. Fenu is a part of some wrestling way back in the 80s, 90s. The Can-Am connection.
Yes.
Get something going. Get it. and, maybe even turn it into, like, something where we could all meet up when it's not maybe an ACL event or something else like that, where we can all kinda just hang out and have a great time, and, you know, maybe find a field or a camping spot or something like that and just, throw bags and just, crush a couple beers and have a great time.
Well, I'm also thinking look out for a show possibly coming up soon. I'm not sure when it's going to be, where we'll have 4 different countries represented on our talk. How about that?
Whoa.
That could be in the works. It's just I'm not sure the timelines for each person doing that. Some people could be tomorrow talking, today. Yeah, it's
There might be a little, there might be a little bit of, stitching together.
yes, Keaton. Talking about that, there's Cornapalooza, the Canadian Spencer Mackenzie's
What is that?
happening this summer. Keaton, help me out with that there.
It's already being called the Spencers of Canada? Where is that
Yes.
gonna be?
I got the Facebook invite.
I didn't get an invite. I'm like,
Yeah, I know you.
ain't I like honorary Canadian?
Mid July. Peterborough Cornhole, Cannington Cornhole putting it on. Campground all weekend, tournaments all weekend. Yeah, there's gonna be a band, like some bands there. Lindsay Fairgrounds.
Yeah, like I'm not supposed to know where that is.
Yep, it's right up by Peterborough.
So is that above Toronto?
Beside to the east of Toronto.
Oh, closer to me.
Right, almost near Whitby, I believe.
Oh, really? Whitby from my house is 10 hours.
Candy's back. She's got some exclamation marks, which means she's happy, which means somebody probably won.
Candy, did they win? Let us know in the chat. I have 3 screens running, but
Well, she was quick. She was quick, and they were in the king's seat, right? So,
well, she's back. Yeah. So yes. So they must. Yes, they won. So does that put them on ESPN tonight or tomorrow, or is that 21-13? Look at that.
yes, I was actually in Toronto today. That's a fun down there.
Oh, beat Clemmer and Holland. That's a pretty good team right there.
Yeah.
Did they stay with the same bags?
I'm gonna say probably yes.
I love it. But yeah, look, Cornapalooza. That sounds kind of really fun.
Mid July.
Mid-July. What's it like up there in mid-July? Is there still snow?
Yeah, we still have our national igloo up. There's one in the Lindsay Fairgrounds. We keep it there all year round.
Hey, Keaton, you pour it bad so it gets all the foam out so you don't get bloated. Seriously, Keaton.
I have a friend. You raped that beer.
Listen, I can't get any more bloated. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm doing my shakes in the morning, my greens. I'm doing my cold tub. I'm down 15 pounds, so I got to keep going. I got to get in fighting shape for Bag and Bash 4? Is it? Yeah, 4. I think it's 4 now. I think it's 4. I've already gone down 3 times, so it's 4. Yes, Bag and Bash 4, 2024.
Cool. Mine, you'll see, mine didn't have any head.
Well, because you're drinking fake moonshine.
This is from cool, Madison, North Carolina.
Listen,
Piedmont Distillers.
it's not a 3-minute. Russ Fisher. I've been in the cold tub for 20 minutes and I got it down to 55 degrees. That it hurts my body. But guess what? I feel great doing it. It's going to be epic this year. It's a huge sponsor this year at Bag and Bash 4. And Doug, you got to come down with me. You got to come hang out.
Well, they have to. It's on a weekend that I'm already down there for something else.
Well, listen, only buy half a ticket for the other thing. Listen, you act like NASCAR is big in the South.
I don't buy a ticket for the other thing. Yes, Russ, the Twins are not happy with him.
Who's that? What? Oh, yeah,
Russ
no.
that's a long time for cold tub.
No, yeah, the Twins, no. Listen, it's okay. It's all good. But yes, I will be. Come on, big year of travel. Me and Doug want to come out to some of your events. So if you have events that you want us to come to, shoot a message to that way. Look at that. I figured it out. To Doug.
That's why I do the arm. That's why I do the slow raise to figure out if I have to change arms really quickly.
Send a message to Doug, and me and him will coordinate to see what we can do. Because
well, maybe for for July, if there's no other big tournaments going on, then maybe I'll bring the camper down there and I'll get the camping spot for the weekend, and we can have some fun down there at Cornapalooza.
Yeah, listen, I'd love to come down there, and as I said, I'm working on my my own RV. I can't steal anymore.
Like you said, the wife, she can come up to Whitby, and then you can kind of hook over to the Lindsay Fairgrounds.
Well, we did that the last time.
Oh, I know.
When we were in Niagara the first year, I think I slept on an ottoman. I think that's Jesus Christ, that hurt my back. I slept on an ottoman.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. Where I need an RV sponsorship. I sent messages to 4 different companies already, Keaton, and they haven't called me back. But the wife's friend did come down to Niagara the last time we were there. So me and you were at the venue hanging out.
Yep.
I think I was recording your match. I don't remember what happened during that match, but I was recording the one you played against some guy from the ACL. I forget what his name is. Yeah. And they were out having fun, getting some drinks. So it's a lot of fun. And it's great when you can involve the family and go see family, right? And for me, that's why I want to get to St. John's.
Yep.
Because I feel like just from us doing this, I've got some family there that we can go and hang out with. I know I have my family down in West Georgia where I can go hang out with. I know I got family in South Carolina going to see Heath and all them. I can see the Gore boys at Crave Cornhole. So I know all my spots I can hit as I'm traveling. Yep. But I just want to go out and meet some of the greatest people in the whole wide world and hang out and crush bags. Oh no, crush beers, throw bags.
You know what, Keaton? I think he could, because there's some New England accents that could be considered the same.
Whoa, wait a minute. Let's back this bus up. The United States started in Boston, okay? We were the cradle of the revolution. Okay, so we don't have an accent. The rest of the country does.
Okay.
Listen, after many beers, I can understand anybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I've said to my wife, well, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? And it sounds like I'm going to go when I go to the race. Where are you going to stay? I'll find somewhere. It's there. I'm gonna know somebody there. I'll be able to talk to someone to get the place to stay. And then she's still amazed at because before the first Niagara tournament, to her, I was just sitting down in the cornhole dungeon down here, just talking to the camera for nobody. Like, she's like, who's watching you talk about cornhole, right? and then I go to Niagara, and then she's like, why are all these people taking pictures with you? Like, what's the big deal? Like, she doesn't even want to take a picture with me. Like, why are these other people you don't know wanting to take pictures with you? And I was like, I don't know either. It's that. And then when the people come up and talk to you about, hey, you know what? I watch your show. You do this, you that. I like this, like that. And I'm like, time out. Like, who are you? Do I know you? Right?
Listen, I would never tell my sponsors they're wrong. I love them to death. But listen, me and Kenny have had this talk many times. Love her to death. She's the sweetest person in the whole wide world. And she makes sure all my orders get here on time.
She makes sure everybody's orders get on time. And I even seen her making comments on posts that people were asking about Titan bag stuff. In Addicted to Cornhole, she was even on it then.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to take Titan out of this equation, okay? I saw her post this week. All right. And it was somebody that in the corner of their bags.
Yes. I've seen that.
had like a pull in the corner of the bag, right? And it's on the same corner. Well, it looks like the same corner of your bag, right? It's like if you measured it, it's perfect. It's like that's not something the bag company did. That's not something that's environmental to wherever you're playing. That's something you're doing to the bags. So don't put a bag company, I don't care what bag company it is,
Yep.
don't put them on blast if you haven't reached out to them or if you haven't figured out that it's your fault. Right?
Yep.
I mean, I will tell you, I saw a story, and I'm going to talk a little out of school here, where somebody bought a set of boards, put them in their closet for 7 months, and a company made it right because the boards weren't right when they took them out of the closet. But guess what? That company could not say that they did it or the other person did it, so they just made it right.
Yep.
And that's amazing customer service. So don't put people on blast until you've reached out to them. On every website in Cornhole, there's a little button. Doug, do you know what it says?
Call us, contact us.
Contact us.
Yeah.
Yes. And you put maybe a name, a phone number, an email in there and what your problem is. And 99% of the time, they get back to you within like 24 hours.
Yep.
Or they might have something up on their website that says, hey, we're at a tournament this weekend. We're back on Monday. Or we're closed for the holidays. Or, hey, something's happened at the shop and we got to fix up. You know what I mean? There's always a message that tells you what's going to happen.
Yep.
So why do you have to go to anything on the Book of Face and start blowing people up because of it? Like, why?
Well, and it's just, and some of the stuff I've seen some other companies that people put stuff in like, oh, like all of my sets of bags, they all got rips in them. Like it's your bag is the issue. Like, what's wrong with your bag? There's rips in them, and that place that these people that are playing that use house bags and they're all ripped. You have metal heaters that are 8 feet from the ground that you're playing underneath. I'm guessing because it's rips. It's not just little wear marks. It's actual rips in the fabric. You could be getting caught on those metal heaters.
Well, here's it. Like, cornhole bags are tough. I don't care what material it is, right? Even some of the thinnest bags I've ever thrown are still pretty tough material, right?
Yep.
And I know, seams and everything else take most of the pressure because of inertia and everything else like that. But when people are sitting there like blowing a bag company up because of something stupid they did because somebody tried to throw it 32 feet in the air and hit a rafter and the girder ripped a bag open and now it's the bag company's fault. Yeah, now I'm going to get free stuff. You're going to send me a whole new set of bags, right? No, sorry.
I want new bags. I want a shirt. I want a flag. I want this. I want it one part of the company. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I know, and I'm not just saying this because they're my best friends and a sponsor, but like Titan actually put out a program there that any bag that is still being sold and is in the lineup, it's a $25 replacement if you screwed up a bag. So you lost a bag. Like I almost had to order a bag because I might have lost one when I was after a lot of adult beverages. And there's other bags maybe I've thrown, people have thrown, like you play with another partner, right? And they're not as good. They hit a rat, they do something else, whatever. $25, I'll replace the bag. Don't worry about it. All you have to do is send a picture of the bag, front and back, of what your colorway was, and they can recreate it as long as they're still making it, right? I think that's an amazing program. But at the same time, I know when something like that happens to me, even though I could call almost any bag. You could call almost any bag company in the country right now, in both countries, and get that bag replaced. But guess what? I know it was my fault by playing with it or doing something else with it, where I'm just going to buy that bag to replace it.
Yep.
And I think that's a great program. And I think, maybe other manufacturers should, jump on with that because, that's just great customer service.
Mhm.
And it's not about getting anything free. It's not about blaming somebody. Oh my God, I got this bag and it looks like a knife went through it. Yeah. Did you open the USPS bag with a blade and slice through your own bag? I mean, seriously.
I think someone's here looking for some drama.
Look who joined in. The big ass boys. Oh, it's probably only one. All right, Doug, I'm gonna bet you $1. I'm gonna bet you it's Sean.
I know that it's Sean.
Are you saying it's a sucker bet?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. There's no one else it would be than Sean. But yeah, it's we talk about every week just how great this community is and how fun it is, and yeah, it's we're gonna keep this going, and coin or bill. Well, it's not.
He said it is in fact the better looking brother. What's up, Shauno?
Will that be that third brother that's trying to become a pro?
No, that's Dwayne.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but
yeah.
you know what? Listen, it's an amazing game. It's a fun game. Like, have fun, throw bags, like, live your life, meet some amazing people. But at the same time, stop going on these damn web pages and putting people on blast. Sean,
What are we
we're chatting about everything. What do you want to chat about?
We're almost like we're 7 minutes over our usual. But it's the last show of the year.
It's the last show of the year. So, friends, ready? We're gonna do something that we haven't done on this show ever.
Uh-oh.
If you want to be part of the app,
here's your dramatic pause there, Sean.
yeah, dramatic pause. I had to think about what I was gonna say because it could get ugly, Doug. Pros playing college events. I think there are some rules on that. But so I saw so Keaton, there was a post this weekend about a pro playing in a different event.
Yeah.
But that pro had to have a letter signed to be able to participate. So there was some sort of stuff going on in the background to let that player play there. Because here's the thing. The only thing right now that blocks you from playing in events is having an ACL contract as a pro, not an ACO contract or TCL.
Right.
Like, you can play in the other events. You can play in ACL as the other twos. I mean, it is an interesting topic, but at the same time, the ACL is going to let everybody play because anybody can win and anybody can pay.
Well, then that brings up another question, and I don't want to really harp on that subject, but it was an interesting one that was brought up at an event here. People playing multiple divisions in the same tournament in singles or doubles, playing open division, then going down and playing in a lower division after they were knocked out. Now, there's nothing in the rules about that per se, but your thoughts?
There's nothing in the rules per se on that. I just think it's I don't think it's right because, you're going up to get points and you're going down to get a tiny bit of money. So yeah. I don't like it. Sean said, how else do you get top 100 in the conference? Well, yeah. Sean, this is your last year for conference.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that there's a few tournaments here that I've been talking to that are going to put in that you can only play in one. No, you can only set up for one division. But then it's like, I'm going to talk to some of the people. I'm not sure if I talked to you about it, talk to some other people that in the States, they have, your lower divisions play earlier No, actually, I think I talked to Brandon Brown about this at the conference as well. Is that the states have, you guys have the lower divisions playing first, then the higher divisions playing after that. We're here. We have our open and advanced playing in the morning. The other divisions playing after that.
Well, it's tough too, though, because I mean, I've seen a lot of tournaments around the country too, where it's hard to fill up certain divisions too, like senior and junior, and sometimes it's harder to fill those up.
Yeah.
And I like it doing sometimes the low divisions early because then you might not get that right at the same time. Maybe.
Mhm.
Who knows?
But really, they would be getting. No, they wouldn't get points from both divisions. Can I get points from the one division? That's what my other thing was. Is I would like to see maybe at the start of the year. I know this is a hard thing to do, but you know what? I'm declaring that I'm only going for open points. I'm only going for advanced or competitive or intermediate. I know that'd be hard with someone then kind of dominating a lower division, then they're kind of stuck in that division for the full year. But it's almost where we have to go into something like that.
Well, I think it gets muddier too when you start throwing elite and the state stuff in there too, right? It just muddies the waters. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer at the same time. But what are you trying to do with your game, right? Why are you paying all that extra money
Yeah.
to potentially not get it back? Because if you're playing open and you're finishing like 32nd, you're getting some points, but you're not getting none of your money back. So why wouldn't
Yeah.
you just pay for elite at that time?
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's the big dilemma. And then you see some other people saying, "Oh, the ACL is the big money grab," which is then it's a whole other thing because they're wanting you to buy all these other memberships. Sure, they may want you to, but they're actually not holding that G word to your head, saying you have to buy this.
No, here's the thing. ACL's in it to make money. ACO is in it to make money. TCO
Everybody is.
is in it to make money. Anybody that's running a tournament is either in it to break even or make money, right? Nobody's playing this game, running this game. Sorry, playing is different. Running the game to, just be there for the greatness of their hearts. I'm sorry. None of us are that wealthy. It is a business, right?
Right. And then the other thing when they people say, "Oh, the whole money grab thing with the bag,"
Stamp.
lost the word, but where the bag companies have to pay to have their bags used in the ACL. I'm sorry, this is not just a cornhole thing. Every professional sport, the companies have to pay to have their equipment used in those leagues, right? That's why you'll see some people that they'll use equipment that don't have any logos on it because
No.
that person that company did not pay the royalty fee or whatever it is
Well,
to
but here's the thing. Wilson is like the official sponsor of I don't know who it is. I'm just gonna make up names. Right?
Yeah.
Wilson's the official football sponsor, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else can throw a different football.
No.
No. So it's a tiny bit different, but I understand the model.
Yes, well, and you know what? And I go back and I had Trey on the show when they were first going to do this, and we were talking about it, and I kind of brought up because at the time I was going to buy my kid new goal equipment. He wanted the expensive stuff that the NHL guys are wearing. Okay, I had another company that didn't want to pay that fee to have their stuff used in the NHL, and the equipment was like half the price, and I was going to have like hand stitched logo and a whole bunch of other bells and whistles in there for half the price, right? Because this company could offer it at half the price because they didn't have to make up that extra money that they would have been putting out to have their equipment because all those companies are paying to have their stuff used and then paying the certain players to use it, right? Kind of like what Cornhole's kind of doing. But so he said, you know what? Instead of us paying all that money out to have the NHL, and I was actually McKenny Russ does this out of Hamilton. You know, he's bringing all that savings on to the consumer so that more people can use their stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, but if you look at some of the bags out there, even with the stamp, right? Listen, I've had an issue. I've gone back and forth with the stamp, with all the fees and everything else. But at the same time, certain manufacturers have raised their pricing more than others, right? You can still get a set of bags for $80 with, a $5 to $10 shipping. So you can still get them for like $90, right? After shipping. Let's just call it what it is.
$5 to $10 shipping. Where are you getting bags from?
What's that? Listen, a USPS bag, the bubble wrap bag, I think is only like $8, right? Or if you have like a pirate ship or whatever it is, you can still ship for $90, right? $92.
To Canada?
Not to Canada. I'm talking about the good old US of A, at the lower 48.
Yeah.
But
I think I've talked to another company here, and they're about like $15 for shipping.
Yeah, I mean,
it's comparable.
It's comparable, right? When you think about it, where because of the stamp and other things, other companies have decided that I'm going to raise the prices more. And some companies raise the price because of rafflers. And the prices still never come down.
Yep.
So it's to each his own, whichever bags you want to throw, whichever bags you're great with. But the one thing I will say is there's a lot of bags out there that are the same.
For Mike, like he's right, because they're our version of Hawaii.
I can ship a postcard anywhere for 50. A postcard for $15.
It's shipping is just incredible from there,
and that's 15 Canadian, so that's like $82 American,
something like that. Yeah,
with my simple math.
Yes,
but it kind of is what it is. People get too tied up with labels at the same time too, where me, you, and another friend have talked about this on the back end, where there's only so many materials of bags, and people get so worried about what's on the not the stamp on the bag, but the company stamp on the bag. And you have the same exact bag at another company, and they can't throw it. And you're like, well, it's the same damn bag. It's just a different color, and it has a different company name on it. Like, you should be able to throw this. Take the mental block out of your head.
I was gonna say, the problem isn't the matter in the bag; it's the matter in the head. That's the issue.
It's craziness. And we'll talk about this more next year. But honestly, everybody. Oh, what a set of ultras! $230 to Canada. Whoo! That's a lot of cabbage. That's a lot of loonies and toonies.
A lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But Tim, that's what it is. Go with the company that treats you well and that you really like. I mean, honestly, that's why I've stayed with the same company for so long, because it's a company I love, and a company that takes care of me, but also takes care of my community. Because at the same time, when ever I need to help out my community or somewhere around the country or world with community, they take care of me to be able to help them. So, that's what resonates with me.
See, Russ is just showing just how he was born in the dark ages. That's how old he is.
All right, kids, listen. Let's everybody just raise a glass. Happy New Year.
I gotta open my thing up again.
What's that?
I had to open my jar up again.
Yeah, open your jar up. Raise a glass. Thank you all for hanging out with us throughout this year. Thank you all. Love you all to death. Happy New Year, everybody. Dougie.
And we'll be back in the new year. And in the new year, you'll be able to hear these shows on the audio side, the Down and Back audio side, where you'll be able to pick up anywhere you get audio downloads.
And friends, just so you know, next year, 2024, the Doghouse Dogcast is coming back.
It is, and I cannot wait.
So
Still the
snowdrift.
Stay tuned.
Still
the snowdrift. Still the snowdrift.
Listen, Dogcast will be a little different than what you used to, but we'll still be bringing you some amazing content. So thank you all for tuning in. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. To all of you, everybody, thank you so much. Love
Exactly.
you all.
Just have fun. That's all. He said it all. Just have fun.